The bonhomie between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu was on display once again as the U.S. president lambasted his Israeli counterpart for not pardoning Netanyahu, who faces serious charges of corruption. When asked whether the Israeli Prime Minister bears any responsibility for the security failures regarding the October 7 Hamas attack, Donald Trump defended him. Instead, he directed his anger towards the Israeli president, Isaac Herzog, and called him disgraceful for not pardoning Netanyahu, whom he described as a very good wartime prime minister. In fact, he's also called upon Israelis to shame Isaac Herzog.
And, you have a president that refuses to give him a pardon. I think that man should be ashamed of himself. A pardon over this trial that's going on. The president of Israel, the primary power he's got is the power to give pardons. And he's not, he said he's given it 5 different times, but he doesn't want to do it because I guess he loses his power. I think the people of Israel should really shame him. He's disgraceful for not giving it.
President Herzog has hit back at Donald Trump. He's revealed that a legal opinion on Netanyahu's pardon request is pending at the Ministry of Justice. In fact, he stressed that a decision will be taken without any internal or external pressure. Netanyahu, remember, is the first prime minister in the history of Israel to face criminal prosecution while being in office. He's facing trial in 3 cases on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in prison. In the first case, he's been accused of receiving lavish gifts worth nearly $200,000 from 2 businessmen in exchange of political favors. He also faces a case for purportedly striking a deal with a newspaper owner to ensure his favorable coverage in return for legislation to slow the growth of a rival publication. Another case pertains to the grant of regulatory favors to a telecom firm. In exchange, a news website controlled by the firm's owner provided favorable coverage of Netanyahu and his wife. But remember, this is not the first time when Donald Trump has advocated Netanyahu's case. During his address to Israel's parliament in October last year, he looked sideways to President Herzog and urged pardon for Netanyahu, leading to huge cheers from lawmakers.
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon?
Well, he followed that up with a formal request. In a letter sent to the Israeli president in November, the U.S. president alleged that the cases against the Israeli prime minister are political and unjustified. After Netanyahu formally submitted a pardon request on the 30th of November last year, Israel's opposition was up in arms. The leader of opposition, Yair Lapid, requested President Herzog to turn down Netanyahu's request unless the prime minister admits his guilt, expresses remorse, and withdraws from political life. Netanyahu's move was met by disapproval of a section of Israelis. A number of people staged a protest outside Herzog's residence in Tel Aviv, warning against any possible relief to the Israeli prime minister. Previously, too, Donald Trump has tried to intervene in judicial proceedings abroad. For instance, he's termed the legal proceedings against former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro as a witch hunt. U.S. even imposed sanctions on a Supreme Court judge who oversaw Bolsonaro's trial. The U.S. president jumped to the defense of French leader Marine Le Pen as well when she was found guilty of embezzling European Union funds.